welcome to another edition of The Timeout. Baseball is the focus of today's show. ID Sports Academy's co-founder, Jerron Sands, is the guest for our conversation segment. Hitting a baseball isn't easy. Jerron demonstrates with yours truly. Timeout special report features Bahamian Major League Baseball rising star Josh Chisholm. And since it's said that a nation's wealth depends on its health, Marcellus Hall has this week's fitness tip. All that ahead, but first, this timeout. Well, good day and welcome once again to this edition of The Timeout. I'm your host, Charles Fisher, here at the Andre Rogers Baseball Diamond. And as you can see, we are talking baseball today, one of the hottest sports in the country right now. And we're now joined by Mr. Jerron Sands. Remember, this ball is just a little cub, so I should say. He's now the president, co-founder of I-Elite. Jerron, welcome to The Timeout, man. Nice to have you.
Nice. Thanks for having me here today.
I remember when you was a little cub playing in Freedom Farm, and now you're giving back. Talk about from that level to this level right now.
It's been a journey, many years, 30 plus years.
Wow,
right in it.
Feel old.
Yeah, but it's been a journey. Just the experiences I've had, traveling to the world. Travel the world with baseball. Just the exposure from that alone. Teaching you discipline. That's one of the main things. Staying disciplined. It helps you. It helps you become a better man, a better person.
How has that transition been from being a player now to this?
It was hard at first. Because when you first start playing, you kind of get the feel to play again. After a couple of months you want to play again. But when I realized that the war was over, I was a little bit older. Young guys was coming up. I said, let me try to give back and help these guys to get further, and I went.
How did I-Elite get started?
We've been in this, signing professionally, sending kids to school, sending them to college, sending them to high school, professional contracts. We've been doing this since 2015. Josh Chisholm, Lucius Fox, Larry at CMA at the time. 2015 to now, we had about 60 guys signed. Professionally, we had like 2 or 3 big leaguers. Like I say, it's like a whirlwind. Everything is moving so fast, and when you kind of look back at it, you kind of be like, wow, we doing something for our country. We helping these young guys get out here, whether it's a scholarship, whether they playing professional baseball. But the main thing is the denominators, they all have one goal. They all want to play in the big leagues someday, and it's just my thing. I didn't make it. So I said, let me try to get somebody else to make it.
Must be a joy. I see the joy on the parents' faces when the sons are signing on the line. How much of a joy does that bring to you?
It brings me of a joy for the fact of not just that they're playing professional baseball, but the journey most of these kids had. Training every day from they was 10, 11 years old, 4 or 5 years straight. A lot of people don't know the sacrifice these parents put in. The kids have to put in the sacrifice, a school have to put in the sacrifice, and we have to put in the sacrifice. I tell them all the time, it's a joint effort. We're partners in this, and it's for me, it's more of seeing them cross the finish line, or one of the finish lines. For them 4 years, how much dedication they put in to finally get there. But I always tell them that's kind of like the beginning again. Because now you're to the bottom again. You're like that 11-year-old. Trying to get back up to get to the big league. So, while we enjoying, you still have to get ready for tomorrow to start again. So it's a bittersweet in some ways.
And in the past few years, we've signed so many players. One time ago, we only heard about signings down in South America. Now the scouts are coming here.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Again, that's the process. The first time we had scouts down, 2013, never forget it. That was the first time. When I was involved, 2012 or 2013. Now, a scout could be here any day. A scout could be here any single day at any time. We now telling the scouts when to come. Before we was asking them to come, now they asking us to come. So that's a good thing. It just shows the increase, the volume, the talent that we have in our country. But they're loving us out there in the world. As far as Bahamian baseball players, whether it's college, high school, or professionally. So for us, I think my duty is to now keep that going and to get the guys better and better so they could keep coming.
How does one get into the ILE program? Is it just you could come and play because you might say you're not at that level, or you have to be at a certain level to get in the program?
That's a tough one. I'm not a tough one, but kind of tricky. But no, seriously, the main thing is we go out and we recruit. We bring you in. Reason being is certain things that you need to be a professional baseball player. We try to be as transparent as possible. However, that's not the only thing that we look for, because we do have sections where we help kids get off the school, get off the college, get off the high school. Not everything is just the pros. 2% of the guys may make it. So the whole thing is to get these kids college educations so they could come back and help our country. But to get in, you could reach out to us, our Instagram, ilesportsacademy.com, or our Instagram page at ilesports. Send us a note or send us an email, and we'll get back to you and kind of fit you in the program that you need to be in. Whether it's, I want my son to, have a chance to go off to school, okay, we could do that. I think my son is good enough to be a professional, we could check that out too. I just want my son to play baseball, we could do that too. So it all depends on what you want and what level you're at. In our program, it's a win-win situation for parents, really. You either get a scholarship and go off to school and play high school baseball, go to college, get a degree, or you sign a contract and you still get a scholarship. And you start your life in a better financial situation than most 16-year-olds, and you be smart with it. You do what you have to do the right way. You will definitely be ahead of the curve. How
much has Jazz and Lucius getting to that level inspire and help youngsters wanting to get there now?
A whole lot. You see a lot of guys want to be like Jazz, want to be like Lucius. They want to be like these guys, Bahamian guys. They want to be like Jazz. You ask them who's their favorite player, Jazz Chisholm, and it's like, wow, who's your favorite player, Jazz Chisholm. Kids who doesn't even really know much about baseball, as little as T-ball, they want to be like Jazz Chisholm. So the more I hear that, the more I know baseball is growing. And when he comes back, when those guys come back, Lucius, they don't blink, they do that thing with all the kids. When Jazz come back, he's working over the kids regardless. So it's really important for all the guys to come back home and integrate themselves into the community and work with these kids to help continually grow baseball.
We have a lot of players also in the AAA system. How much can you say we have out there?
Right now, I would say we have about 25, 30 guys, somewhere give and take, out there right now. From rookie ball straight up to AAA. We just had a guy recently playing the Caribbean Series in Marlins Park just last week, Chavez Fernando. So we have guys all over. We have guys that play in Australia, minor leagues, no one in Japan right now, but we have about 30 plus guys coming through. I expect us to have another 2 or 3 big leaguers in another year or two. Christian Robinson, Deshaun Knowles, Tanaj Thomas, just to name a couple of guys. Ian Lewis coming up. You got Sharif Limor, Dari Grant, I could go on and on, but these just some of the names that I think have a real shot. Chavez Young, just signed with the Brewers. So I feel like we kind of close. We just need to get over that hump, and we could easily have another 2-3 guys in the big leagues.
Well, coming up after this break, we'll see if I have a shot to play pro baseball. We're going into the batter's cage.
Imagine your favorite dish being cooked right before your eyes. Use your imagination and savor the flavor. Do you smell it? Can you taste it? Hold that thought. We have the right show just for you. Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. and Fridays at 2 p.m. Dishing it up. Right here on the ZNS Network. Because only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back to the timeout, and we are what is called the turtle. I really got to find out why they call it a turtle. That's this picture right here with Jerron Sands, president of iElite and co-founder, and we're going to go through some batting techniques and drills today. I see everybody just want to hit the ball over the fence like Steph want to put in the three-pointer, but there's a lot of fundamentals before you can get there.
Most definitely. It's all about fundamentals. It's all about keeping it simple. I teach keeping it simple. You know, the ball coming at you 90, 95 miles per hour. Think about a car driving that fast, and then think about a small little thing coming at you that fast, and you trying to hit it with a round bat. So you want to try to keep it as simple as possible, and cut down all the extra movements, and try to hit that ball. So, you know, for me, just talking about it, if I was to talk about hitting, I talk about being balanced, right? Being balanced. A lot of people be like, what's being balanced? You know, being balanced is, you know, obviously starting in an athletic position. If you look at any sport, it's athletic position is athletic position. A linebacker, athletic position. You know what I mean? A shooting a free throw, athletic position, right? Baseball, athletic position. So it's all about starting in an athletic, comfortable position. Let's slightly bend knees, right? And then we talk about being on time. But what is being on time? Being on time is timing up the pitcher and hitting the ball at a certain point before it gets past you. So you know you want to be on time to hit it, loading up. So basically the steps would be getting in the balance position, loading, getting back, stepping, creating a little separation with the hands and the feet. So we go in different ways. Separation, timing. When we talk about being on time, being able to get your hands back to the front of the zone, in front of the plate to hit the ball out front. And that's as simple as it could get. Step, load, step, hit the ball out front. That's as simple as I would take it. You know, we could get into all the other fancy stuff and all the baseball talk, but for someone just starting baseball, be athletic, get your hands back, step forward, hit the baseball out front.
Now I'm in the left-hand side of the plate. You're in the right-hand side of the plate. It's the way you put your hand. I have my left hand on top of the left hand. Okay?
Right. If you're a righty, right-handed batter, which means
so
if you throw with your right hand, that's all. He had a kid back in the day that used to swing like that. So for me as a right-hander who right with my right hand, throw with my right hand, my right hand would be on top. It's the other way around. If you were left-handed like you in the batter's box, my left hand on top. So left hand is the most dominant hand. You know, when we hitting, that's what we want to feel hit the ball, and kind of what we say, staying through the baseball, right? So you know, I try to just keep it as simple as possible. Normally, if you keep those steps, you figure it out as you go on, and as you get older, you know, when they start to now want to throw curve balls and all these different pitches at you, you know, you have to be able to adjust. And you know, as we get older, then we have to learn how to make adjustments. One thing I'll say is, high school players, they make adjustments probably week by week. You know, college players make adjustments game by game. Minor leaguers make adjustments game by game. Big leaguers make adjustments pitch by pitch. So it's that level it goes up, pitch by pitch. You know, he throws one kind of off balance, not being balanced. He knows right away, I got to be balanced the next one. You know, someone in college, someone in high school, they might need someone to help them with that. But once you reach to the top, Major League, Josh Chisholm, Lucius Fox, all those guys, they could make that adjustment on the fly.
And I see some people hold the bobbers right with the hold the bat once again. I remember Gary Sheffield used to do like this. He used to bat like this. You know,
he had the little weird that wiggle,
how you could do that?
He had that wiggle.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we were actually talking about Gary the other day, and I saw an interview with him the other day, and it's more, it's not so much how you start, it's where you get to, if that makes sense. It's where you get to. So a guy could start up here like Gary used to be here, but right before he hits, everybody gets back. If you zoom in on any hitter, anyone in the world, any big league pitcher, any professional hitter, you would see they'll start with their hands here, up here, down here, but right before they swing, everybody in that, boom, that position, that strong position is what we call it. To even take it a little further, if you look at the MLB sign, I don't know if the camera could see this. No, maybe not, but if we look at it, Fisher, that's where we want to be so our strong position is literally the MLB logo. So you look at the MLB logo, hands back, right here, this is where we want to swing from. So talk about Gary Sheffield, talk about Julio Franco, we talk about all these guys with these bad stance. By the time they lift their leg, get their foot down, their hands in that ready position, every single one to hit. So to your point, it doesn't matter where your hands is, as long as you're able to get your hands back.
And growing up playing Little League baseball, everybody hit with the aluminum bat.
Yeah.
Now, even up to senior league, when you're senior league here, but now you're all encouraging to hit with this wooden bat. Tell why?
Yeah. Well, you know, back in the day we used the aluminum. All this international baseball and stuff wasn't going on, but as we realized, you know, that's what we're using in the major leagues. That's what they're using in professional baseball. You know, that's where we're ultimately trying to get. So let's try to get a head start and get a jump You know, with the younger kids, I think we start using it from ages 11 now, maybe 10 or 11, you know, in games. Kids younger practicing with it. My 5-year-old son using it, practicing with it. So, you know, you get a little practice with it until you get about 11, 12, and now you want to use this permanently because this is actually what you'll be using if you was to move on to the next level. If you went to college and you were using the wood all your life, now the aluminum bat becomes easier, right? Because it's much harder to hit a baseball with a wood bat simply because the sweet spot, what we call it, is not so big on the wood bat versus the aluminum bat. You know, the sweet spot on the wood bat is maybe, so how much it is, a couple centimeters, versus an aluminum bat, you have the whole bat. So you have a lot of more chances to miss and get a hit with the aluminum bat versus the wood bat. If you miss too much, you break your bat.
Oh, well, Joanne, I wish I had you when I used to play baseball. Maybe I would have been in the majors by now and coaching. But thanks a lot. I learned so much here today in this Batters Cage. And good luck with your I-Lead program. Hopefully you can see some more players sign and also some more players reaching to that higher level.
Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
All right, we're now going to make a pitch over to Amajal Knowles with this feature story.
He's been on the cover of video games, featured in GQ magazine, and become a fan favorite unlike South Florida has ever seen. Bahama baseball superstar Jazz Chisholm Jr. entering his 6th season as a member of the Miami Marlins. Chisholm, who in his short time in the league has dazzled fans and opponents alike with his signature style and electric play. Chisholm led NL second baseman in home runs, triples, RBIs, and OPS midway through the 2022 season, spinning that success into his first career All-Star appearance, but he was only able to play 60 games that year due to a back injury. Fast forward to 2023, where he would move to center field. This season would turn out to be another injury-plagued campaign for the young Bahamian. He still managed to rack up 19 home runs, 52 RBIs, and 22 stolen bases in 97 games, helping to lead the Marlins to an NL wildcard spot. The Marlins adding much-needed firepower to the lineup with the additions of Jake Berger and Josh Bell. In his most recent trip to the Bahamas, we caught up with Jazz, who gave us his outlook for the 2024 season and what he personally hopes to accomplish.
We just plan to do it again, you know what I mean? Now we know what it takes to get there, so we're going to just get there again, but now we know what it takes to win, and we see how we got to play and who we got to play against to win. So I feel for us, we just took it into experience, you know? If I don't play 140 games, 150 games, nobody would ever see my potential. They only see half of it. So for me, it's just like every time I don't get to 150 games, I had a bad season. I played like 90 games this year, like 20 home runs or so like that. Like that's okay for a regular player, but I'm not a regular player. So for me, it's just, that's not what I do, you know what I mean? I play 140 games, that's 40, you know what I mean? So
the Marlins are currently competing in the MLB's spring training games, with opening day set for March 28th, a home showdown against the Pittsburgh Pirates. For Timeout, I'm Amajal Knowles.
Thanks a lot, Amo. We now head to this break, but let's see if I can get one out of the park.
D-Wayne is on the TV, so turn the TV on.
Join us for the most electrifying late-night show in town. The brightest and most talented Bahamians will keep you glued to your TV screens.
You better talk to your executive director. You see Rico over there giving you the evil eye right now.
Well, I say Shepherd Morn. Good to be here with you, my boy. Good to see you, man. I'm excited for you.
Pour yourself a glass of bubbly, because the fun has just begun.
It's now time to get in shape with Marcellus Hall.
Hey Fit Fam, welcome back once again. Coach Marcellus here, upliftmindandbody.com. As usual here at Physique Total Fitness, and getting ready for another fitness tip on Timeout. So a lot of times people say, is stretching important? I'm here to tell you, it is and it isn't. All right, I'll tell you what that means. All right, I'm not saying don't stretch, but you got to know when to stretch and what type of stretching to do. All right, so when you first start your workout, you don't want it to be doing what we call static stretching, right? You don't want to be holding, you want to be doing a stretch and hold it for a long period of time. That's counterproductive. All right, what that does is it starts to stretch the muscle out too much, and that's not going to help you when you start to do your workout. What you want to do is more dynamic type stretching, which is more quicker movement. You're kind of just doing this kind of stuff and just got to be lunging type things, just kind of making sure you're able to get that type of movement in so that your body is more conditioned and warmed up to do the exercises. All right, so those are the movements you want to start your workout out. Again, that's going to be what we call dynamic stretches, just quick movements just to kind of get the body in motion, stretching the muscles out just a bit, getting them primed up and ready to exercise. And then at the end, you want to make sure you protect those muscles. You want to keep them stretched out to prevent the shortening, especially if you're doing arm workouts, you're doing bicep curls. You really want to make sure you do an exercise like this to really kind of make sure those muscles get the full range of movement throughout the course of the day, in particular legs. Make sure you stretch those muscles out completely. That way, you avoid the muscles shortening up and continue to keep your full range of motion and get the full benefit from the exercise as well. Hope this helps. I'm Coach Marcellus once again from upliftmindandbody.com here at Physique Total Fitness. And guess what? We'll see you again next time.
That's going to put a wrap on this edition of the Timeout. Thanks a lot to my special guest, President of iElite, Jerron Sands, for well done instructions. I guess he didn't get through to me because couldn't even put the bat on the ball. And that's going to do it for Timeout. Make sure to tune in to another edition. Let's play ball.